Social media became the new great addiction of our modern age. It is similar to alcohol, gambling, or drugs. Notifications, likes, and new followers release dopamine in our brains, and we get addicted to that feeling. Social media companies are well aware of that and design their platforms to keep us on them as long as possible. When we get asked if we could live without social media, the answer almost always is, sure, I just don't want to, which is what every addict says. In the last weeks, I realized that over the years, I built an unhealthy habit of consuming a lot of social media, probably because my work was always based around it. Due to the lockdown, I was trapped at home in my boring hometown, so the online world was the place where the cool stuff happened. Therefore, the screen time on my phone got up to an all-time high of 4 hours a day. As I saw many other creators doing a social media detox and read many articles about it, I got curious. So I decided to live the next 30 days without social media and see what I can take away from this. Alright, here's the plan. I'm deleting Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Snapchat from my phone. On my laptop, I ban the websites with an app called Self-Control. It says, you will be unable to access those sites, even if you restart your computer or delete the application. Which already freaks me out, to be honest. I mean, this icon looks dangerous, right? The only exception is when I have to upload a video to YouTube. I'm allowed to do that and share it on my other socials. I also kept messengers like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger on my phone. But besides that, nothing else. From now on, there will be no more scrolling, no funny videos, no posts of my friends having fun. In the first week, I spent most of the time filming, editing, and replying to emails, where I already ran into my first problem. A client of mine sent me an email with a video link to a video which is similar to the one he wants, and it was a YouTube link. So I tried to open it, but I couldn't because of the program. So I came up with an idea and I downloaded it with a YouTube downloader on the internet. It's a little bit of cheating, I guess, but I mean, I had to. I also spent a lot of time with friends. On one day, my buddy Alex and I hiked up a mountain and made it to the top just in time before the sun was about to set. The whole scenery looked perfect, and the old me would have probably snapped 100 pictures and Instagram stories to share it with the online world. But as I couldn't do that, I really got to enjoy the moment and took it all in, without worrying about how many likes this picture would get. It kind of felt liberating. Later that week, I fell back into old habits. Sometimes I caught myself tapping where my social media apps used to be. I binge-watched several series on Netflix as I needed another source of entertainment, and I spent much more time on WhatsApp. Not only to text with friends, but weirdly also to look at the different profile pictures of them. Probably that was which came closest to Instagram, I guess. Day 7 of social media detox, and today's my birthday. Guys, come on. Usually people reach out via Facebook or mostly Facebook, to be honest, and they just say happy birthday and post something on your page. But today is a little bit different because I just can't look on my Facebook or any other social media. Still, some of my real good friends, they reached out, they called me, or we just FaceTimed. Yeah, I don't really miss any of the comments where people just say happy birthday on Facebook and that's all. It's so much better to have people just reaching out, truly asking what you're up to. It just feels like a much stronger connection than just via social media. Later that day, some of my closest friends came over and we had dinner together, which was really fun. In the next 2 weeks, a lot of things happened and changed. I bought myself a new drone and tested it together with my brother. As I didn't fly drones for quite some time, it was really fun to get back to it, and I decided to do a little road trip to some of the nicest places in my region to practice flying and capture some cool shots. To make use of this trip, I decided to shoot a video about why we should make more mistakes. So I drove along those winding roads while talking about the things which really mattered to me, and every now and then I stopped to fly my drone. As the day slowly came to an end, I felt something that I didn't feel for a long time. I was passionate about the work I did. Throughout the whole day, I barely used my phone and I felt like I really connected with filmmaking and storytelling again. In the weeks before I quit social media, I was in a deep creative rut. I had no inspiration and no motivation to create anything. But on this day, everything turned around. I felt re-energized and active, and I was ready for a new chapter. After staying in my parents' house for 8 weeks due to coronavirus, I decided to leave my hometown and move to Munich. Okay, so now it's day 20 and I am here in Munich for 7 days now, and so far I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really productive. This week I actually published 2 videos on YouTube instead of 1, which was my goal. So yeah, that's really nice. I just felt like creating a lot of videos at the moment, so that's what I did. But something's also changed, because when I was at home at my parents' house, there were still people around me all the time. There was my mom, my brother, so there were always people that I could just talk to. But here it's just myself. There's nobody else here. And because of that, I actually had a stronger need to socialize with other people, and therefore also to go more on social media apps. So that's why I became actually a little bit active on LinkedIn. You take what you get, right? Yeah, I'm not really taking it seriously, but still I feel like there's a deep need in us to see what's happening in other people's lives. I don't know why, but yeah, I feel the need to just see what's happening with other people. In the next few days, I spent the majority of the time in front of my laptop editing videos. I was motivated, focused, and rarely distracted. I was in a creative flow and I got a lot of things done. While I enjoyed my work again and was passionate about creating videos, there was still something missing. In the evenings when I finished work, I would often just sit in my bed and I didn't really know what to do. I was exhausted and I didn't know how to fill these last hours of my day, as I would normally spend them on social media. So I knew something needed to change. That's why I started to read books and go running in the evenings. I even set a new personal record.
Holy shit. I just ran 21 kilometers in 120. Oh.
To counter my lack of social interactions, I started to meet up with different friends and old colleagues every other evening. Sometimes I went to the park on my own to just chill and eat something. Even by just sitting there and drinking a beer with my duck friends, I already felt happy and social in some way. I would say that in this last week, I definitely became more active. Okay, it's now day 30, but to be honest, I wasn't even looking forward to go on social media anymore, because I really enjoyed the last 30 days without it. But for the sake of this video, I still downloaded all the apps and I replied to my messages, I scrolled through Instagram and I watched some YouTube videos. 1.5 hours were gone just like that, and yeah, the time just flew by and I was just sitting in bed and I was kind of overwhelmed, because my mind didn't have access to that much information in the last 30 days. The funny thing is that there was nothing really worth mentioning that happened on social media. Nothing changed and everything was just still the same. I didn't miss out on anything, but still my mind was just running wild again and I was distracted and I couldn't really focus. Therefore I decided to not use any more social media for today at least. Okay, so what did I take away from these last 30 days? While due to my job it was sometimes hard to stay completely off social media, it had many benefits. As I spent less time on my phone, I had more time for my real friends. I reconnected with people who I didn't meet in years, and it felt like already existing friendships only improved. I stopped comparing myself with other people all the time. When I scrolled through social media, I always saw the amazing works of other filmmakers and thought to myself, why can't I be this good at creating videos? Why should I even try if it has been done before? During the detox, these questions started to disappear and I reconnected with my passion and creating videos again. The biggest change that I saw happening was my ability to be in the present moment. While normally the time seemed to rush by and my mind jumped from one thought to another, a few weeks into the detox, everything around me started to slow down and I was able to drown out the noise. As I could only think about positive aspects that I took away from my social media detox, I was sure that I'm not going to go back to how things were. So here's what I'm going to change. I turned off all notifications for social media apps. In this way, I don't get pulled into the apps by themselves, but instead I only use the apps if I really want to. I started building a habit of going for a 30-minute walk every single morning without any distractions. No phone, no music, just walking, listening to the wind blowing through the leaves and seeing the city come alive. These walks make me feel very present and free up my mind. I will start to do no social media Sundays. So every Sunday I don't consume any social media in order to connect with the real world and recharge my batteries.
So this 30-day detox turned out to be a much bigger project than I expected in the beginning. It really changed the way I interact with social media and my perception of the things happening around me. I think all of us should do this kind of detox in order to reevaluate our relationship to social media and also to prioritize our time in the real world and in the online world. So trust me on this. Give it a try. Don't use any social media for the next 30 days. Be strict with yourself, and I'm sure you're going to experience as many benefits as I did.